Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bob Waldron and welcome to this inbox review. We're going to be taking a look at Kinetic Model Kit's Grumman S2A tracker. This is in 1/48 scale. Now this kit was new tooled in 2011. It was reboxed. This one's a rebox 2013, and it's going to cost you and set you back about £44.99 in the Genesis Models store. So you know, kind of an average price. It does have a lot of plastic, which, speaking of a lot of plastic, if you kind of look at the box is just too small for the amount of plastic you get in here. So bit of a schoolboy error here on Kinetic Model Kits, not actually making a big enough box for their product. A bit stupid if you ask me, and something they need to sort out, because you know you're going to get rubbing and potential damage if you don't have a big enough box. But anyway, let's move along and see what we have here. Right, well, first off we have our fuselage section. As you can see, it's going to be quite a bit of a fat aircraft by the looks of it, but looking at the surface detail, yes, we do have recessed panel lines, which is a bit of a given these days. Those 90-degree angles, is it fading? I mean, maybe. No, I mean, it's slightly maybe fading over those 90-degree angles, not very massively noticeable. It's just a little bit, like, very minor. I mean, maybe a slight little rescribe there, but detail wise, I mean, we do have that nice bit of recessed panel lines, recessed rivets. Maybe it could be a little bit more detailed, but pretty good, so to speak. Flip this over. I mean, cockpit area, nothing really going on inside there, but probably going to be built up for all the pieces in the kit. So that's our first sprue. Then we have a couple of sprues here with like wing section stuff. So let's have a look at the detail on here. I mean, this looks a bit more impressive than the fuselage, but you know, here we have our wing section, nice bit of recessed panel lines and rivets and all that good stuff. Right, as you can see, looking really nice. Nothing to write home about on the underside, although looks like we've got some drill holes here, maybe something that can be attached on there. We have our sort of engine cowl section here, stroke bit of landing gear area. Again, same level of surface detail, although I mean, I don't know, it just almost looks, that just looks a little bit crisper in the surface detail that is on the fuselage, maybe. Or is it just me? Maybe it does. It does seem a bit crisper and a bit finer than on the fuselage section, only slightly. I mean, it's a bit hard to notice, but there you go, looking pretty good either way. We have a few more. We've got quite a lot of plastic in here, so I'm just gonna whiz through it a little bit. You know, we've got sort of like engine cowl up here. We've got the engines itself on a big block basically there, but you know, the detail don't look too shabby on there. Then we have some more of that sort of engine cowl area and where the landing gear goes as well. Again, same pretty much surface detail as we've been seeing. Again, we've got more wing sections just there as well. We have like a little bag which has got some weapons in, like torpedoes and stuff. Again, not much to sort of really write home about there. Then we have another sprue just here. This sprue houses our landing gear area, which as you can see, we do have a little bit of sort of rib work going on there, maybe a little bit of wiring. You know, the detail maybe could have been a little bit better, but there we go. We have a bit of landing gear just here, which doesn't look like they've got nasty ejector pin marks in nasty places, which is good to see. Just flip this over. Right, not bad detail. Not really seeing much flash either, which is kind of rather good as well. We do have our instrument display panel just there. As you can see all the dials and everything looking actually well detailed and rather crisp indeed. Oh, we've got some more sort of front landing gear detail just here. Not much going around the walls, but there is a nice bit of detail on the bottom. but not much around the walls, so not too shabby at all. We then have our canopy section, all our clear parts just in here. Now I have already seen this, and there is a bit of scuffing going on, i.e. not a big enough box. But yeah, if we look at this, I mean, see, it's hard to see on camera, so you're gonna have to take my word for this. Right, it probably looks more clearer than it is on camera, but if you kind of look it up to light, it does need a bit of a buff, a bit of a polish, just to tidy it up. It's not so clear, and I don't know if you can see it, but like on the tops here, yeah, you could just see that you've got like a scuff and a little scuff there. So yeah, a little bit of polishing just to polish those little scuffs out, and sort of generally kind of, you know, let the get the canopies looking a bit more shiner would be good. Another little bag here, just a few bits and bobs, like a little bit of landing gear and stuff. Again, just speeding things up. Nothing really to write home about there. Then we come to the decals or decals and our instructions. So big decal sheet, actually, almost like an A4 size sheet of decals going on. Now with this decal sheet, I mean, yes, I do believe it is by cartograph. Yeah, they are by cartograph, so these are going to be good decals. They're going to be good with micro solid sets. Shouldn't really have any problems with them in that sense. Colors look good in registry. The only thing is we've got some big ones here. I mean, this big one just here, that's kind of, the shape is kind of something that maybe you could mask up and spray, which is probably not such a bad idea. That is quite a big one to try and sort of lay down, right? So, you know, maybe try and mask that one up. We then have all our little bits and bobs. We can sort of read the writing and different markings going on. Looks rather good. So the instructions, we have a nice little bit of a description about the aircraft itself, not in colour, you know, black and white, you know, average sort of paper quality, shall we say. And I think we want to go this way with this one. And it starts us off with the canopy, which is kind of interesting. And then to the cockpit. Looks very basic and straightforward and very easy to follow through. Moving along with it, and yes, I mean, you're literally kind of bringing those two fuselage halves together pretty quickly. So really not much going on in the cockpit area. And looking at the detail we've got in there, I mean, you know, there wasn't major detail going on there. Might be a bit of scratch building maybe needed going on with that. But moving along anyway, we've got sort of like our little weapons bay that we've got just underneath there for some torpedoes, arrestor hooks and all that good stuff. I mean, it does have a door, which there's like literally no detail going on inside there, so I mean that door's probably going to want to be closed unless you kind of really go to town with some scratch building, right? So detail inside is kind of maybe looking a little bit scratch building with this kit, just looking at it. Do you know what, the instructions are kind of cool in the sense that, I mean, normally with instructions they kind of like squash things down into little blocks, but this one just seems to blow it up and spread it out, and it just does kind of make it seem a bit more clearer, which is quite interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, looking at it, does again, it does look quite simple, but in some ways it's kind of maybe, I don't know, it's almost, I mean, just like the engine section here is just like, there you go, 3 pieces. There's your engine cowl and your propeller. Is that kind of going to lack on a detail a little bit, or is it just going to make it a bit easier? You know, it's one of them. But then we have I suppose this is where we're probably going to find some issues with this kit. I mean, it is Kinetics, right? We're going to have some sort of fish issue. That's just Kinetics in general. There'll be fit issues, but what we've got here, oh sorry, I've got you off camera there. What we've got here is you've got the whole sort of landing gear and the engine area, and that part of the wing being attached to the fuselage section. Hopefully we've got no fit issues there, but then you go off and you get the other part of the wing section, right, as you can see there, which is going to obviously attach onto there. Yes, you could put all sorts of weapons and rockets on there, which is rather cool to kind of go down that route. But yes, this is, as I say, where the fit issues come. When you have kits like this where they are designed to have the wings open or folded or closed or whatever, yes, when they are in the folded wing installation configuration, it is kind of easier in a sense, because they're kind of more designed to be that way, right? The fit issues really kind of start to happen when you decide you want it to have the wings, the full wingspan installation side of this, where you try and get that wing to fit into there. There's gonna most likely be gaps, and if you don't get gaps, you're gonna kind of see a join line, so there's gonna be like a bit of filling, sanding and scribing to get that to look right. Never really come across a kit where, if it's in that kind of configuration, that you've got no sort of issues bringing those wings together. So just to be warned on that one. But apart from that, actually, the instructions do seem to be quite simple and easy to follow, and does almost kind of look like a bit of just big chunky pieces coming together, nice and simple, but hopefully not too many fit issues with it. Then we have a whole bunch of markings, as you can see. We have what looks like to be, is that 6 markings? US, Canadian, Japanese, and then is that, no, yes, no, it's 3 markings, that's it. Okay, again, a little bit confused how they're going about it. Okay, so we're basically going across there, and onto the next page is 1 set of markings, and then so forth. Right, they've kind of put them all on the same pages, but there you go. There could have been in colour, could have been blown up a little bit more so you could see things a little bit easier. Right, but I'm not seeing many markings. Is there a stencil going on here? Let's just have a look. Okay, no, that is it. That's where all the marking placements are going. That's on here. So doesn't look, although it looks like there's a lot of decals in there, I mean, it doesn't look like there's many going on, if you get what I mean. But yeah, not looking too bad. All in all, I mean, you know, it's there's a lot of plastic. I mean, it's £44.99. I suppose it's not a bad price, as long as, you know, you're an intermediate modeler or above, because you're gonna have some issues you need to probably take care of, because it is just kinetics and the way the kit is going to be going together and whatnot. So, you know, intermediate up I'd recommend for this. I have built Kinetic kits before. I think I built like the Greyhound and whatnot. I mean, they do look good when they're finished, but you're gonna have a few little challenges along the way, most likely. I haven't built this one, but you know, that's just, you know, Kinetics, they all seem to be the same either way you go about it. So that is the Kinetics S2A tracker. Hopefully you've enjoyed this nice little inbox review, but as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Models, and I'll catch you later.